trying to impeach Biden again.
Wait, wait, it's either her or Marjorie that's doing that on a regular, because didn't Marjorie do it too, but only 3 people signed on for it? Was one of them Bobby?
It's Bobby. Bobby's, I think, leading the charges.
Bobby's what?
Bobby's leading the charges.
I hate her.
Yeah, I hate her so much.
Like, she's such a garbage person. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene is such a garbage person. Like, if they don't get their comeuppance, your content was removed due to violation of our community guidelines. What is
I'm sure
that
we said something offensive.
What could we have possibly have said that would have been?
Oh no! See, now we're gonna get it again.
What episode is this? Medical misinformation.
Oh.
What does that even mean? What episode is this? 307. Your content was removed due to a violation because it's the first time your account isn't affected. Okay, thank you. If I'm going to appeal this decision.
Well, wait, let's figure out what we said
first. Either way, how could we medical?
I believe it. Oh, avian bird flu.
Oh my God, the fact that it's bad, they don't want me to fucking mention that it's bad.
Well, I think you're probably spreading conspiracy theories about it taking over and killing mammals.
Are you accusing me? I literally mentioned a fact about dead land mammals.
You don't. You're going to get us kicked off of YouTube permanently. Thank God we're on the Tony Soto account.
Wow, you live and you learn, I guess. You would think all the things we said about COVID, that would have got us flagged at least once. How am I wrong about bird flu? Well, now I'm upset. I'm upset.
Don't get your arm in a tizzy.
Look at me.
Maybe they knew that your arm was broken and you said it wasn't. And they were like, "That
it's
is
not broken. This is I did not listen. Fracture. I am still not in the broken bone, because I've not had a broken bone. This is a hairline fracture. That is not a break.
A fracture is a break, from my understanding. I'm not a scientist.
I don't care what your understanding is. Listen,
I love that
these are my alternative facts. All right,
sure are, and that is an alternative, not broken bone. You can still smoke weed and rant. You're fine.
YouTube, I'm very upset with you, YouTube. Google it. How about that? All right, we won't mention flock of seagulls anymore.
And I ran so far away.
I mean, flock of seagulls is so big that I could just die. You know what I mean? Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us here on GPHH.
Who knows? This could be our last time on YouTube if we violate more guidelines.
I mean, who even knows? To take it down? How dare you? You took it down. You censored us. How long did we even talk about?
There are 3 to 7 people who were looking for that content.
Yeah. How dare you? I mean, listen, that at least makes me think that we're making waves. You know what I mean? Because how could they even pay attention to our little old fucking 30-minute show and pick out? How did they pick it out? They didn't listen. Don't, you know what I mean?
I don't know. You just don't know.
God, me either.
But I'm happy that they are listening. I'm happy that they're watching. It means at least a content moderator is watching us. And they're like, these homosexuals are lying. These are lying homosexuals, not during Pride.
Be clear. We do not know. They could be saying, they could be a part of the cover-up of Flock of Seagulls. They want to come back. Are the Flock of Seagulls people still alive?
I have a feeling that some of them are. Maybe there was one heroin overdose in the lot, the drummer. Who knows? Maybe that one of the seagulls died not of avian bird flu.
Oh,
The heroin overdose. Heroin. Everyone knows seagulls can't do the just a little bit of heroin.
Maybe it was you that got us fucking banned because you were like, it's not a big deal. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe like that's the misinformation. Maybe like there is a big deal. I guess we're never gonna know. You know what I mean? But I am going to re-listen to that, and I'm going to take the appropriate measure.
Good.
Would you like to try to get? Would you like to try to get banned again on YouTube's?
Yep. And another thing about Canadians is,
I mean, are aliens here? Is that a thing? I mean, I don't get it. Have you heard about that? Like aliens being here and the government's admitted to it or something?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it. I want to see them. I want to see an animal, an alien.
Not an animal. Come on.
They're animals to me.
Stop.
See, that's how we're gonna get banned.
This is why they will not be coming in peace. You know what I mean? Because if they've made it this far, then they're smart enough to know that we are stupid.
I disagree with that. I think the hope is that they're so much more evolved than us, and evolution, you know, love is evolution. You can't spell evolution without love. You need all those letters.
Oh, okay, you're right. They're
so,
all in there, but it doesn't.
They're all in there.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't spell it. You can't. I mean, you have to rearrange it. You know, could spell evolve.
I mean, why put in the extra work?
Vole. You can't spell evolve without vole either, and I don't think that it makes my point. But my point is that hopefully these are much more highly evolved beings evolving to a higher plane of love and empathy. You know, I mean, you're not that evolved. You don't have empathy. You can't spell empathy with Tony.
You're right, you can't. But listen, I'm working on it. I'm empathy reserved. I'm not just throwing out empathy. You know,
I think that's fair. Boundaries. I don't think boundaries for your empathy.
I don't think everyone deserves it by any means. You know what I mean? I'm not going around asking for yours. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to soak up all your fucking nonsense. So they'll be knocking on my door asking for my nonsense.
Oh, believe me, I'm never knocking on your door asking for empathy.
No, but apparently you want me knocking on yours for coffee.
Oh my God. One time I mentioned that it would have been nice during
one of these days I'm going to show up with a coffee and you're like, either not going to be there or it's not going to be a good time for you and I'm going to be mad.
I get it. Well, I'll wait 3 weeks until your splint comes off.
I hate it. Well, would you like to do a show for the people?
Sure.
All right. So I'm just going to give you like a little, 4, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's just like a submarine on a search for the Titanic, because we love to go down on rich people. With your hosts, Casey Lai and Booty Boy number 2.
Hello, I'm Tony Soto. The Pride Fest continues here on GPHH. You know what? I don't necessarily want to blow a rich person because I figured too many people are clamoring for their cocks. You know what I mean? And I'm not the thing about my life as a queer person and the queer communities throughout the country or whatever, it's very limited. You know what I mean? It's small wherever it is. There's you've seen all the dicks, those dicks have fucked your friends' dicks. Like it's just all very that. And so no, I'm not clamoring for rich cocks. I feel like those are the ones that mostly have the herpes.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I would hope that they also can afford their medication to keep 100% herpes at bay.
But you never know.
Nothing wrong with herpes as long as it's at bay.
Keep it at bay.
Speaking of bays, this submarine went down in an ocean, a big bay. It should have stayed at bay and not descended. Are you following the travails of the 5 people?
I mean, how can you not? Can you not? It's fucking everywhere. Everyone has an opinion. And here's the thing. I'm going to be on the side of the opinion where I don't have much empathy I'm reserving my empathy in this situation. Yeah. So what? The CEO of the actual company that made the ship. Now, ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? I was watching an interview that he did on ABC or something a few years back, where he was talking about how he was putting that ship together with just a bunch of shit he got from like Home Depot. And
did you see the inside? There ain't no chair. The one chair is the toilet. They have to sit on the floor. There's like a game control that that is their driving system.
Who is shitting in there?
It's kind of janky.
I have a real look. Just first of all, for $250,000, like you better also have some kind of a pill to give us so that dries us up, so we're not trying to use any kind of a bathroom in that.
That's situation. A really good point.
Well, you know what I mean? Because like, ain't no one shitting in there if I'm in there. Are you fucking kidding me? You better hold it.
But you know, rich people, they can't go anywhere without a can of caviar, and so I'm sure that they were just like like Ron DeSantis. They can't have utensils because you don't want to puncture the side. It just somehow, so like they're eating caviar like Ron DeSantis eats pudding with his fingers, in a 2,000 feet below sea level.
Speaking of vanilla pudding,
fish egg poops, gasping for air. It's a disaster of their own making.
Okay, but who's the pasty white vanilla billionaire? I don't know who he is. I'm not really versed up on my millionaires or billionaires these days.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I there was a part of me that I was like, I could think of a bunch of other billionaires that I know who I wish were on that ship.
And then there was some guy with his kid, which it's like. Yeah. It's like, oh, wow, you brought your kid. That's fucking genius. And here's the thing, too. Like, they have a window in that, right? There is a window in this one, a very small, tiny window.
Well, they want to be able to see that. Why go all the way down to have to see it with a scope? You want to be able to see it with your eyes.
Is before that, those submersibles, because they've been doing this for some time now.
James Cameron went down before the Titanic. He made a whole documentary about it.
But they've been sending fucking people down there for some time now, and it's like, but the thing was,
scientists.
There was no windows. Like you would have to see on a TV, and I was like, well, for the most part, there's a tiny window allegedly in this fucking one that's down there still, and who knows? They could be dead by the time this goes on. They could still be alive.
Die.
We don't know. Well, you can't find them. Like, what do you mean there's not a GPS? What do you mean? Why did you put an Apple tag in that motherfucker? You know,
not a single one brought their Apple tags. Well, there's no room apparently. There's only room for a toilet.
As simple as like an Apple tag probably would have get you. It's 2 miles down. Like, I mean, I'm sure like if it can find you 2 miles west or east, it can fucking find you 2 miles down.
Well, I also love that they were like, it's not, they're 900 miles west of Cape Cod. Oh, that really narrows it down. That's like saying it's like, oh, it's like, I don't know, like you're in like Salt Lake City. It's like, well, oh, where are they? I'm not going to tell you, but I know you're 900 miles east from Los Angeles. Go, ready, set, go. And 2 miles down.
And look, I find it very hard to believe that that smart people, and I don't consider people with money necessarily smart. I think that's something they're trying to paint up, wealth. Like the resurrection of Christ. They're trying to invent this kind of history, right. That because you have a lot of money somehow you are smart in the ways that you got it. Yeah, maybe smart in the way of fucking people. Stealing. You know what I mean? Like if you
Trump's
have
smart, no.
If you have $1 billion, you didn't get it completely all the legit ways. Now, maybe Rihanna, I don't know, because I feel like she's a diva, and I feel like she really. I mean,
Rihanna, sure. That Kardashian, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But people were stepped on to get you to that million or billion. Let's be real. And so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they were so smart. That's how they got billions of dollars, because these people willingly got into a submersible that they have to be bolted in from the outside. So here's the thing. Even if that goddamn floating coffin went to the top, they'd still run out of air because it's not like you could crack that little window.
No.
Speaking of cracked windows, a guy got fired because he said that window wasn't right.
I know. Speaking of cracking windows, what happens if someone takes a shit down below?
I mean, here on GPHH, we like to stay away from poop humor, but that's a valid question.
But it's a valid question
because they had, there's a lot of high calorie meals in the gullets of those fucking people down there.
I'm for sure a lot of butter and a lot of fish roe.
Like,
and
who's gonna be in the movie? Like, who do you think is gonna be in the movie? Because like they're gonna make a movie. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a movie because I could tell you that if I was in that, let's say I had 250, let's say you and me, we had $250,000.
Got it.
I'm
struggling to get there. I'm struggling.
I know, right? I know. But
okay, I got it.
But like the moment I got into the space where we were even going to get in, you would be able to see on my face that I would not be an enjoyable person.
Yeah. And the minute I gone, I'd be like, I should have gone before, but I'm sorry, guys. I really have to go right now.
I gotta go up. I need one more outside. So when it comes down to like this, I do not care, because if we're gonna worry about fucking people dying in sunken ships, let's talk about all the migrants that are being shipped around the fucking planet to certain places, because there was just like hundreds of men, women, and children that were that drowned because the ship sunk off the coast of fucking Libya. And the thing is like that, but they don't want to think about that because it's poor and it's fucking, and they're poor people and who cares, and it's just less, they're just gonna make more, like that fucking kind of nonsense. But these fucking ignorant people with a shit ton of money that could have been doing good shit, like no one cares. The billionaire from England has a kid who went to the Blink-182 concert. Like after he found out that his dad was in the goddamn submersible. And he was like, well, what do you want me to do? Miss out on my ticket? Like, could you imagine? Like, you would want to think that your kid would be like, with their mom being like, but no, this fucking rich kid's like, dude, I gotta go see fucking Travis Barker.
I've watched enough Succession and seen enough of Trump stink kids to know that rich kids hate their parents.
But they love their money.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's like, not only am I going to Blink-182 after I find out my dad submerged,
I'm going to buy him.
But I'm going to buy Blink-182. Once he dies, I'm owning Blink-182. 182, okay? I'm going to buy it for $182 million. And I know that sounds like a lot for a band that's not as good as they used to be. But I'll tell you what, I don't give a fuck, because I'm about to inherit $1 billion.
Oh my God. It's just super wild, because like, the thing is the media wants us to be like gripped in fear, but like the vibe on social media platforms is, who cares about these dumb fucks?
Well, it's like, I can't wait for this to happen to Elon's capsule to space. I mean, you want to die. And also I have to hand it to a billionaire don't want to die from, choking on a hamburger. They want to die in some sort of spectacular, weird way. And so what's weirder than, grasping for air at the bottom of the ocean on a search for the Titanic? I'll tell you who they must feel like. John Jacob Astor, who was at the time the richest man in the world, and he died on the Titanic. They wanted to know what it was like to feel like John Jacob Astor. And I'll tell you what, you got your John Jacob Jingleheimer shit. Baby. We just got a little history lesson there. Oh, it's what I do.
Oh yeah, I hear you read books. Yeah, no, it's wild, and I just don't care. Like, I don't care about these people. Like, RIP. But we're gonna talk about like, if you're one of the first billionaires to blow up on an Elon Musk trip to space, that's going to be bigger news than this is going to be. Like, this is, is going to last as long as their oxygen. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the cool thing about the space part is that you got like, usually the rocket explodes. That's usually the thing. So you get to watch it, and so we'd all be there for that, I mean, like this, we're just like, there's banging. Apparently we can hear some banging from the depths.
But there's no fucking telling like whether we'll be able to find it at all. Like, no one knows about the ocean. You know what I mean? Like people know more about what goes on in space than they do on what goes on 2 miles down in the depth of the ocean. There could be something banging around.
I mean, the rover on Mars, we can see pictures and hear sounds. How are we not, we can talk to people from the moon. You can't talk to someone from the Titanic?
No, listen, the only thing we want the ocean for is to suck the oxygen out of it. That's it. They just want to suck all the oxygen out of it. They want to make dead areas for coral reefs. They want to fucking overfish. And
you know who want to do that? Billionaires. So serves them right.
So you know what? This is fucking Ariel's fucking black father taking a few billionaire lives.
Happy Juneteenth, the English billionaire. Coming at you from Neptune.
But that all being said, less poor people are dying around the country.
Hooray.
Less murders. There's less murders that are going on.
I wasn't sure which one of our stories that was.
You know how I know that you have a Spanish keyboard on your phone? There is este here as a little misprint.
Porque yo aprendo español con Duolingo.
First of all,
en mi teléfono.
I hate that you try to do the Castellano Spanish. I hate it.
It's because
it's ugly.
Yo tengo una lengua
it's the tongue of the
difícil.
Rapists. It's ignorant and don't do. You know that that apparently in Spain they are very mean to Latin Spanish speakers.
Lo siento. Lo siento mucho. No es me. Yo vive
and not only does it, if you think, listen, listeners, if you think it doesn't sound ugly coming out of a white man's mouth, talking like that, it sounds just as ugly coming out of a Spanish person's mouth. It's like in the United States, we correct impediments like that. This bitch literally had an impediment and fixed it. Because she sounded silly, and now she's learning Spanish, sounded silly again.
I think that is a very homophobic way to lead, to force your kids into losing their delicious lisps. And it is, I regret it. I think I would be a much more confident and super sound, emotional person.
Listen,
and that's why I'm moving to Spain. España. So I can be my true authentic self. For what? See you in Spain.
España.
España.
Because I have books on Audible, and I hate that they take up time teaching me the fucking Castellano Spanish when I'm
we listen to the same book, Paul Noble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like I don't need to fucking hear this. Like
you don't like it because it's a woman speaker. I know what you're coming at.
Oh,
that's what it is. You don't like the sound of a woman's voice speaking the original Spanish.
What a spin out of nowhere. She just spinning like the fucking little ballerina.
You don't think you can learn anything from a woman? Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying. You don't like the way they say ticket? It's billete. You prefer boleto. And basically, after that happened, you lost it.
You pretty much have it.
Anyway, very helpful book. Yo tengo la intención de terminar todos los libros.
Do you just hear how it's like it just sounds like a mouthful of mush for no good reason. So
speaking of a mouthful of mush,
people are getting murdered, but I'm going to tell you, I feel like killing somebody.
Yeah, I mean the news story.
But wait, tell me the news story about this and why this is important. Because
no one's talking about it.
This is a pro-Biden moment, right? We're having a pro-Biden.
Pro-America, okay? It's
right.
pro-America.
Take it easy. All right, tell us why.
Patriotic.
What's happening?
The murder rate's going down. Violent crime is going down. All we hear about is that everyone's just getting shot and raped. And it turns out it happens. Sure, mass shootings, terrifying thing. But like we just hear the cities are just hellscapes of murder. It's not true. Okay.
Yeah.
All the major
Most
cities.
of the murder is mass shootings, right?
A lot of the murder is mass shootings.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is domestic.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Like family stuff.
Family stuff. And I was thinking about this too.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was seeing people. I don't know. There was people were like, "Oh, the gay divorce rate has hit the same numbers as the straight divorce rate."
Of course,
like, yeah,
of course it has. What did you expect? Better? Come on.
But no, we are better because you know what's way higher in the straight married community? Murder suicides.
Oh wow, dark. Wow, yeah, no.
And you know who's not killing you? We're just like, you know what? I hate you so much. I'm gonna get divorced and I'm gonna go suck a bunch of guys other dicks. I'm not gonna kill you.
A gay person's not gonna kill someone like that's. Listen, we have been painted as the villain through Hollywood and society for decades and decades and decades. But truth be told, our self-involvement will never let us
once we come out,
we would have already heard about it by now. You know what I mean? Like there would already be a notable murder, suicide, marriage if it had happened with gay folks. Find me an out gay preacher who's fucking a bunch of kids. You're not gonna find one. Okay, they're gonna be straight preachers or closeted hypocritical ones. Okay, the gays are all right. In my hometown, since we're keeping it dark, my mother was friends with a woman who was married to a gentleman and they had children. Now, we knew this family, and this man took his children out in a car and shot them and himself. That happened in my hometown. And that was a married white straight couple. So just saying, if that was a gay thing, if it was like gay folks going around murdering, it'd already be news. We'd already have
100%. They never shut up about those lesbians who drove their kids off a cliff. Okay, occasionally it happens. They're crazy people.
Sometimes I'll tell you, drive them off the cliff. I would imagine. Look, listen, not everyone's cut out to be a parent.
Look, you think, one Casey Anthony is bad. Two together, they're going to kill a whole family of kids.
I just had a conversation about Casey Anthony, funny enough, that there's a documentary, apparently. Have you seen it?
I watched parts of it, and then I was like, I just don't need to watch things about kids getting killed by people.
Well, I had someone who was like, I believe that she did not kill those children.
I don't think she killed the kid. I think her dad did it or something like that.
Oh, see, interesting, because she is out and whatnot, but I'm sure she's still a pariah. She's kind of
changed her name, which I'm happy about. One less girl Casey around, fucking the name.
Spelled exactly like yours, right?
And so is Casey DeSantis or DeSantis or DeSantis, whoever they say.
What's the eyebrow thing? Do you know the eyebrow thing about Casey DeSantis? Is there something like I saw a picture with her with big old eyebrows? Not a thing.
I don't know. Her husband's Italian, so she's trying to fit in.
Does that hurt? Does that hurt that he's an Italian?
No, Italian men are bad. I've said that for years. Italian women, on the other hand, the best.
Well, speaking of bad, I didn't know it was bad to be a crackhead and buy a gun. So I'm learning things new every day. Hunter Biden has pled guilty to things that I didn't even know were a topic.
Well, everyone knows you can't be a hunter without a gun. One, you could have a bow and arrow, but I don't want a crackhead with a bow and arrow. I'd actually prefer my crackhead with a gun. It makes more sense to me. I can have a crackhead with a bow and arrow. When I was growing up, since we're keeping it dark, in Rhode Island, one of the great Rhode Island murders of the generation growing up was a guy killed his family with a crossbow.
Ooh! Oh wow!
That was big. I forgot about that. I don't know why that just.
How would you forget about that? It
was 20 some odd years, 30 years ago.
I mean, but I remember the fucking murder suicide.
I got there. I hadn't. It wasn't on the tip of my brain.
Let's take out that trauma. I can't believe that didn't hit hard.
I mean, my neighbor got murdered. My neighbor got murdered and had his dick chopped off by one of his victims.
That I remember. What's going on? That you openly share. That's one of your favorite stories.
It's a good story if you really want to get into the depths of it and you have a little taste for the dark.
However, I'm like, that's a statement killing. Like, that's like, did they kill themselves after, or?
I don't think so. I think he was on trial, if I remember correctly.
I mean, that's a slay. You know what I mean?
Certainly is.
Like, let me harpoon you, basically, and then I'll go to prison for it.
Yeah.
That's the ones who mean it, Casey. You know what I mean? Like. Anyway, did we even talk about Hunter Biden?
No, we this is our conversation about Hunter Biden.
Oh, right.
He didn't kill anyone with a gun.
No, I mean,
he just had a gun.
I mean, we were talking before we started recording. I thought we were talking about he had something to do with Ukraine. Like, I was like, what is going on? Like, this is not what I signed up for. What are we talking about? Tax evasion and buying gun as a crackhead.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're trying to find something that sticks, you got to find something that sticks. I mean, he didn't help his case by I think he brandished his gun on social media or in a phone call or something like that.
Was he
while doing crack? Probably. And
was
also, again, it is highly hypocritical of the Republicans to be criticizing a gun. Okay, it's your fundamental. It's his God-given right to have a fucking gun, according to God or the Bible or the Constitution. They're all the same. Okay, yeah. God wrote the Constitution, and so Hunter Biden, as much as I hate him and I hate what he did in Ukraine, what did he do in Ukraine? Everything. I've read all about it. He did everything in Ukraine.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be Nazis in Ukraine.
He's there calling the shots. He's there making the moves.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's wild because this isn't the storyline I wanted. The storyline that I wanted which is happening is them being like, oh, well, we had informants, but they disappeared, so we can't find them now, so we can't get their verbal testimonies. It's like everything is still alleged because you have no fucking case, and this is what you want to work on after your man, your next fucking Republican candidate allegedly has been arrested twice for shit that he is still openly admitting to in the press.
He just is going on TV and saying he was like, I love, it's such a mess. He was on Fox News and we're talking about Trump now, not Hunter Biden. And he was saying, well, I didn't have time to go through it. I'm a very busy man. He DJs every night at his fucking Mar-a-Lago fucking hotel, okay? He DJs the same set every night on a fucking iPhone. And he says, yes, he DJs. And he's too busy to remove.
Act.
What?
He's like a closing act.
He's like he comes out at the weddings and the dinners. After he was indicted, he went to the club and he DJ'd on his fucking iPhone. So it's a very busy sketch. How can you do it with all the indictments and rape trials you have to sit through? And he goes, there were other things. There were my personal things, and it took time. It was going to take a lot of time to get rid of. I had shirts in there. I had golf pants. What was I? It was like, what are the nuclear secrets doing with your golf pants and your shirts, Mr. President?
Well, and also it's like, I think there were enough opened and spilled over boxes to know that there were no short pants and shoes.
I didn't see a single. I didn't see a jort or a capri.
Yeah, you would think maybe a bow tie, if anything, but there was nothing. I mean, I saw greasy finger marks on it from fucking chicken nuggets
and a chandelier in your bathroom. That's what I saw.
Weird. See, this is the thing. Like, why didn't someone take him down in a submersible and be like, listen, let's celebrate your fucking campaign, bro. Like, it'll be big news. Come down here and look at the Titanic, look at the first billionaire that drowned. And then it can just lose contact because the fucking PlayStation remote lost its charge because someone didn't plug it in. Like, what kind of jank ass white people shit is this? And it's why?
Literally a bathroom. They sent them down in a fucking. They sent them down in a little tube with no seats but a shitter. and they're all going to die in a bathroom.
And like, they fucking name drop NASA and shit, and NASA's being like, look, we never tested anything. Like we never fucking walked them through any testing or whatnot. So don't call our names into this. And it's just like, what?
They also, I mean, I know we're doing, they cut a lot of, like, there were all these whistleblowers who were like, there were like red flags everywhere. They cut corners everywhere. If you're going to charge people $250,000 to go see the Titanic, make it cute, make it sound, make it seaworthy. Don't make it the literal fucking Titanic with all these fucking, like, your hubris. Like, literally, I just love history repeating itself. It's like, truly one of my favorite things.
If you're cutting the cost by an inch thicker of a fucking window or whatnot, because it's like, bro, like, don't be taking me down. That's a lot. Like, no one knows about the ocean. Like, water is heavy. When I know everyone thinks, ooh, I'm light as a fucking feather because you're fucking swimming right up by the surface, but that's different. That's different. Water gets heavier the fucking further down you go. So, you know what?
That's why you get the bends. The bends.
We're never going to learn. And here's the thing, too. Poor people, actually, I'm thinking about this right now. I was stumbled on this TikTok or whatever recently, which talks about, like, basically what's bad with cruises. And there was, like, these white people that were, like, throwing fucking furniture out of their cruise room into the ocean and whatnot. A few of those could capsize. Like, I'd be all right with that. You know what I mean? Like, take down a couple carnivals. How is it they're staying up so well? There's no way. Those were floating fucking morgues at the beginning of COVID. Let's not forget that's where the death started.
That's how it happened. You know?
Look, rich people and poor people go in their own dumb ways, and I'm here for both of them. So, good old capsize of a carnival would be cute, but I'm not gonna fucking waste any emotions about these rich folks.
I don't have a big problem with it either. And I don't feel bad for Hunter Biden because he made his bed a little bit, in a lot of ways. But like having all of the, we're jumping around a bit, but I'm happy. Let the Republicans focus on Hunter Biden's gun and crack problem.
Oh yeah,
and how easy he got it off. Like let him fucking do it. And it doesn't mean anything. They have nothing else to fucking say. And honestly, I don't think America cares about Hunter
It's
Biden.
Part 2 of a story we didn't know existed.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. It's a sequel that we didn't know was there because that's not what we're waiting to hear from. We want to know about your laptop, and we want to know about how President Biden is in cahoots with the Ukraine and fucking Hunter Biden.
Yeah,
because that's what you're saying happened. So,
and honestly, like, oh, you have a relative with a drug problem and a gun charge. Welcome to America. Okay. Yeah. It's very relatable. It's not relatable. Having a bunch of nuclear secrets in the bathroom of your fucking bar mitzvah, your fancy bar mitzvah hall that you DJ at, like that's a lot less relatable than what Hunter Biden is going through.
And to sit here and think that you guys don't have people that are suffering from addiction in your families, just conservative families are way better about covering it up, like they're about like putting them in a room and being okay with that.
Let God sort it out.
I mean, look, happy Pride, we're still going.
We're past elbow deep at this point.
Look,
Casey, second ring.
We have come to the end. Do you want to tell people what you are up to?
Sure. If you're in the Bay Area, you can see me. This comes out Thursday. You can see me at the Setup Speakeasy shows. You can see me at Cheaper Than Therapy at the Shelton Theater this weekend. And then I won't say anything further in the future because I know Tony gets bad when I promote stuff further on.
It's just a bit much. I don't understand why you're jumping ahead.
July 8th, you can see me at Good Heroin in LA.
Oh, July 8th is in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
We never know what could happen then.
Yeah, a lot of new jokes, very funny these days. Come on down and see me, friends. You can find me on Instagram at KCW. Nope, KCLEY. It's pronounced lie. And Twitter, sure, whatever. KCWLEY. I was on sports radio this weekend.
What does that mean?
This week. I was on a sports radio show promoting my show at the Punchline. Not a single person came from, I polled the audience. No one came from listening to me on sports radio.
Yeah, that voice is pretty off-putting when you're trying to think about masculine things.
I was like, what are we talking about? Figure skating? Or, one of my personal favorites.
Mucho gusto, me llamo
Mucho
Katie
gusto.
Lai.
Me llamo Kathy. Yo soy el opresor.
Yo quiero hablar estúpido.
Sí.
Y'all, if you want to know what I'm up to in drag, you can always follow Tony Soto Productions on Instagram, and I am the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, we'll be back again next week, right? Goodbye.